रिकॉर्डिंग सुन के बताना हमारा आवाज कैसा है. ये भी रिकॉर्ड हो गया. Okay, so right now, just see, gentlemen, you have data in your database. There are different types of database, right? RDBMS, like your SQL Server, Oracle, MS Access, right? Those are RDBMS. Then you have what else? Flat files, which can also be your database. Non-structured, where you can have huge amount of data stored, like MongoDB, CouchDB, right? So all these end of the day are database. Okay, so we are just going to have a database. We'll store the data. Now, how do you access that data from the database? From database, I want to access the data for which we can develop a data access layer. Data access layer. To build a data access layer, there are a set of frameworks available for you. Okay, there are many libraries available for you which all can utilize. Like, we have a library called OLEDB. Before that, you have something called Open Database Connectivity, ODBC, right? The equivalent of this Java has JDBC there. Okay, Open Database Connectivity. Then OLEDB, okay, for heterogeneous consumption. You want MS Access, MS Excel, SQL Server, Oracle. For everything you want something common, OLEDB is there. OLE, Object Linking Embedding, right? That is Microsoft standard, right? ODBC is Open Database Connectivity. Then you have native clients, native providers. For Oracle, you have Oracle native providers. For SQL, you have SQL native providers, right? So we can use any of these and establish a communication with your database. Right, gentlemen? Okay. Native database. You are there? Okay, so you can just access any of these and reach. And see, there are a set of classes available in .NET using which you can use ODBC, OLEDB or native. Those set of classes comes under a library called ADO.NET. Okay, so there is something called, there is something called ADO also in this. So ADO.NET is a wrapper around all these, right? So the libraries which you all can use. Or what I can do is, you can have ORMs. What are these? Object Relational Mappers, right? ORMs. So every class what you create will map to the table. Every object you create is one row. Every property of the object is one column there. Is that clear? So when you have collection of objects, it's a table, right? You're going to have object relational mappers, which are going to establish. Okay, and these object relational mappers can work, okay, with your ODBC or OLEDB underneath or native. Okay, so it can just use this. ORM frameworks can talk to this. You all worked on database connectivity earlier in Java something. Which ORM you all used? ORM is a general concept. Object relational mapping. Object relational mapping is general concept. You can use it anywhere. Okay, Python यूज करते हो, MongoDB यूज कर रहे हो तो mongoose बोल के एक है, so there is ORM there, right? Okay, so which ORM you all used in Java database? Have you used before? JDBC यहाँ पे आता है जी. It will come here. I'm talking about this. Okay, ठीक है. So you're creating objects. Objects will look at ORM also seriously on the other side also, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll see practically, but the equivalent you do there also because that's also important, right? Okay, help me please. So we'll use an ORM, but when you come to Microsoft, there is a framework called Link to Entity, and there's a framework called ADO.NET Entity framework. It's called as. Okay, so ADO.NET team developed this, C# team developed the other one, right? As a competition within Microsoft, two teams developed it. Both came out well and they released both actually. They are competitors within. And later, what happened? Up to 2010, both were surviving. Then they stopped enhancement of link to entity and they are continuing with ADO.NET entity framework. So all the new enhancements will come. So, but link to entity will still survive along with your Visual Studio for backward compatibility. Is that clear? Okay, so ADO.NET entity framework is there. This is completely the ORM framework. Okay, then we'll have the consumers consuming this. Who can be a consumer, we'll see later. Dependency injection, guys. Remember, you have to know that very clearly. We'll move. Understood this? Okay. Now, what we are going to use is ADO.NET in this. To hit the database, we're just going to use ADO.NET. Right? ADO.NET. So ADO.NET is a wrapper classes, okay, which actually helps you to establish communication with your databases. When you use ADO.NET, there are two types of database access available for us. One is connected mode. Other one is disconnected. Is that fine? Connected and disconnected. Everything looks fine for you? So far, so fine? No problem. Connected. In the connected mode, you're going to perform all the CRUD operations when the connections are open. In the disconnected mode, you'll pull out some set of records, have it on in-memory database. You're going to have something in memory. A DTO will be there, data transfer objects. DTO will be there where you'll have all these, okay, all these records available. And you'll perform the CRUD operation on in-memory database. Okay, and that in-memory database, what we're going to use in disconnected is referred as a data set. So you're going to use a data set and you do all the CRUD operations, create, retrieve, update, delete, right? All the CRUD operations you'll be doing on all the CRUD operations you will be actually doing on in-memory database. And finally, we'll do a batch update. Okay, so comparing with what the table has and what this in-memory database has, matching these two, I can generate insert, update, delete queries. Is that clear? Okay, so the batch update will be actually done. So that is the CRUD operator, CRUD or crude. Okay, some people pronounce as crude, some people pronounce as CRUD, but it is just a acronym for create, retrieve, update, delete. Right? So that's what we are going to do. Now, create. What is create? Create, retrieve, update. What retrieve is in that? Fetching. What do you call that as? Fetching is called as data query. Select what you give, right? Select star from, group by, right? Order by, right? Okay, so for small set of records, it will work. Okay, select statements will work for small set of records for sure. Order by, group by, small. Okay, for example, I told you Tesco gets around 5 crore records every 4 hours, the transaction. And if the CEO wants quarterly report from you, from that database, they want a quarterly report. You have to generate a chart. You're going to write a query. If you put select for quarterly, it won't work for the first 4 hours for you. You select. Getting it right. There are different ways to do using Fibonacci number, distributing it. Okay, there are different ways to do it. Okay, there will be consolidated records. Okay, that means you're virtually how many? Okay, so you're virtually having around 30 crore records every day. And quarterly report, just think where it's going. Okay, so in that, if you put order by and group by, first of all, select won't work. Getting it right? Okay, so I'm telling you, these are the challenges you're going to face. It's not the same. Whenever you want something from database, select, nahi hoga. Kuch aur challenge hoga. Order by. Order by means what you're doing? You're doing sorting. Sorting on what? On characters, it's fine. Okay, on numbers, it's fine. When you have Chinese character, Hindi character, what will you sort now? So that's where the Kana types comes into picture. So you have to employ. This is how you have to order. I hope you're getting it. Okay, so you're getting it right. So order by हर जगह work होता है ऐसा मत समझो. Getting it right? Whatever I'm telling you, even those are getting recorded. So that means I have told you something called Kana type. You should know what is Kana type. Oh, so sorting may use or I can pay Kana type. Okay. So because Chinese character you don't know how to do. Here you have ASCII numbers for others. You are sorting based on that. For others कहाँ जाओगे? हिंदी characters है कैसे sort करोगे? हाँ. चलो आगे. Next one. Help me please. Hello. Yes, wonderful. When you come to connected, there is a GQL. And what is insert? What is insert, update, delete? Insert, update, delete क्या है? What type of queries are there? DML, data manipulation language. Right? So, create, update, delete. Right? Data manipulation. DQL is query. We write a query. Okay, and in .NET term, this is called as query, DQL, which one select is called as query. The DML statements, insert, update, delete is called as non-query. You all heard? Okay, non-query means they are DML statements, right? Query means they are DQL statements. Then you have transaction querying languages there. Okay, so schema definition languages are there to represent schema. Okay, so those things little by little. You all have worked on database here. Which database you all learnt? SQL Server. Well, SQL Server learn क्या अच्छा है ना? MySQL वो भी अच्छा है. Okay, so use that. Okay, so I'll use any one database here. I want you to attempt all the databases. MongoDB, MySQL, जो भी कर रहे हो ना, सब attempt करो. You all will enjoy. Right. आगे चले. Okay, connected, DML, GQL. So, okay, this is what is available. We'll see that practically. I'll stop this